Yo, what is going on, guys? It is District Trending here, bringing you guys this brand new video. Now, in this video, we're going to be going over the real meaning of Logic and his brand new album, Young Sinatra 4. If you guys are a big fan of Logic, be sure to leave a like on this video right now, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to join our iPhone X giveaway. Now, with the release of Young Sinatra 4, Logic is returning to his old ways of rap music, and he's releasing a whole new album with his old style of music that a lot of his old fans will definitely enjoy. Young Sinatra 4 is actually the fourth album out of 4, and I must say the last 3 were easily some of the best albums ever made in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think down below of your thoughts and opinions on this new album, Young Sinatra 4 by Logic. I'll be sure to be reading all of my comments and responding to a majority of them, so make sure you guys let me know down below in the comments. Now, getting into the first thing about this album that you guys must know is, who is Young Sinatra and where did the name come from? Now, Young Sinatra is one of Logic's alter egos. He went by this name mainly in the first 4 released mixtapes. His fans use this name to refer to his old style of rap from his earlier mixtapes. The name is also used to refer to Logic himself before releasing any albums, aka back in like 2009 to 2013. But the name Sinatra comes from Francis Albert Sinatra. He was an American singer, actor, producer. He was one of the most popular and influential music artists of the 20th century. You guys may have heard of him or even seen this mugshot posted either online, or if you are a Logic fan, then you obviously would have seen this mugshot somewhere on Logic's Instagram or Twitter, or even probably in some of his music videos on his clothing. Sinatra is one of the best-selling music artists of all time. He's sold more than 150 million records worldwide. Born in New Jersey to Italian Americans, Sinatra began his music career in the swing era with the band leaders Harry James and Tommy Dorsey. Sinatra found success as a solo artist after he signed with Columbia Records in 1943. He was becoming the idol of the quotes Bobby Soxers, which if you guys are a fan of Logic, then you would definitely know how he likes to call his fans Bobby Soxers, especially back in the old, a couple years ago, he always used to call us Bobby Soxers and things like that, which relates to the original Sinatra. Now, Logic goes on to talk about Sinatra, and he goes and says, I quote, "Then I just thought about how much I love Sinatra, his music, the vibe to him, the honor. When he walks in a room, everyone wants to shake his hand. I wanted to be that dude and bring that to hip-hop," he told the boombox at the station. And then he also went on to say, "So then I got that alter ego, Young Sinatra, kinda like Slim Shady to Eminem, or Hov to Jay-Z. But then I wanted to take it even a step further with the whole Rat Pack thing, which is spelled with 2 T's to stand for real all the time. All these things came into play when I was in bed one night thinking of what I wanted to do with my career." Now, if you guys really think about it, it's awesome what Logic did. Logic took one of his old inspirations, otherwise known as the original Sinatra. He took one of his old inspirations and then turned his career to kind of remodel it the way he did it back in his time. Because the original Sinatra was one of the best-selling music artists of all time. 150 million records worldwide. That is almost honestly kind of unheard of, and Logic kind of wanted to make his career kind of like his. He wanted to, do things the same way he did by having a group name and just things along the lines of that, which made so much success because so many fans wanted to be a part of the Bobby Soxers and things along the lines of that. So Logic wanted to do the same thing, which is always something you guys need to do. You can't just make music, throw it out there, and hope fans like it. You got to get the fans involved. You got to be doing things like that. And that's why Logic talks to a lot of people within Twitter and Instagram. He loves talking to his fans. Even for this album, he actually flew out 20 of his biggest fans that he's seen on social media, flew them out to wherever he was at, and played the album for them early, which is really cool. Now, getting into the next thing that you guys definitely need to know about this new Logic album is the features that are on it, and more of the history of the features that are on it, because you guys actually have no idea what you're about to listen to, especially if you are just kind of like a new hip-hop fan. Logic, you just started listening to Logic, after 1-800 release and things like that. So you definitely need to know more of the history behind the features that are on this album. And on this album, it's featured with Wu-Tang. Now, Wu-Tang Clan is an American hip-hop group from Staten Island, New York City. Originally composed of East Coast rappers known as RZA, GZA, Old Dirty, Method Man, Ghostface, U-God, Master Killa, tons of members. Wu-Tang is a group that motivated millions of people with their music. I don't know if anyone listening to this video has even listened to Wu-Tang. A lot of you guys probably have, or even seen the logo anywhere, because a lot of people like to wear their shirts and things like that. I would definitely give them a listen once you're done watching this video, or even done listening to the Logic album, just because you guys, it really would bring you back to the history of hip-hop and things like that. It would, give you an idea of what it was like back then. Wu-Tang was one of the biggest rap groups of its time. Definitely give it a listen if you guys haven't. That's why I'm pretty sure Logic wanted Wu-Tang on this album for a feature, just because of the history behind it. I know Logic growing up was a huge fan of Wu-Tang, so now that Logic's, what he is today, one of the biggest artists there is, he was probably able to get a hold of Wu-Tang pretty easily to get a feature on the song. So that's really cool, just because I do know I've been listening to Logic for a long time. I've heard him say many times that Wu-Tang, motivated his career when he was growing up and things like that. So now knowing that, he has the song with the Wu-Tang members, that is really cool. Now, getting into the next and last thing that you guys definitely need to know about this album is just the type of rapper that Logic is. Not many of you guys watching this video may have heard of Logic before his very popular song called 1-800, because that was really his breakthrough moment for him in the rap industry, but he's actually been around for a very long time. But let's just start where Logic's career all started, so then you guys get to know more about this album, because Logic's flow has changed pretty dramatically over the years, and in this album he's going back to his old ways of rap, which is why it's important to know his old ways. Known by his stage name Logic, he's an American rapper, singer, songwriter, and record producer. Raised in Maryland, Logic developed an interest in music as a teenager and ventured into a musical career back in 2009 when he was releasing his mixtape called Young, Broken, and Famous back in 2010. He signed with Visionary Music Group, then before releasing 3 more mixtapes over 3 years. His 4th mixtape, Young Sinatra, Welcome to Forever back in 2013, was released to critically acclaim and allow Logic to secure a recording contract with Def Jam Recordings. He later that year released his debut studio album called Under Pressure back in 2014, which debuted at number 4 on the US Billboard Hot 200 list, which I do want to say now, Under Pressure was my favorite album of all time. Next to like one of X's albums, Under Pressure by Logic, that's definitely one of my favorite albums of all time. I really would like to know what's your guys' favorite Logic of all time. So make sure you guys comment down below what's your favorite album by Logic. He eventually became certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America, otherwise known as the RIAA, and Logic released his 5th mixtape known as Bobby Tarantino back in 2016. Logic's 3rd studio album, titled Everybody back in 2017, was his first to debut at number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 200 list. It sold the equivalent of 247,000 album units, of which 196,000 was pure album sales. This album spawned his first international top 10 single as a lead artist by his song known as 1-800, which reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 list in March of 2018. Logic then released his 6th mixtape known as Bobby Tarantino 2 just a few months ago, which was a sequel to his 2016 mixtape. It also landed number 1 on Billboard Hot 200, selling 119,000 equivalent album units in its first week. So I just kind of gave you guys a reign through of all the projects that Logic's released. Now, being the 4th Young Sinatra, I honestly probably don't see Logic doing another one. He's probably, if he is going to do another one, it's probably going to be a different name. It's going to be under maybe Sinatra or something else, but I don't see him making a Young Sinatra 5 album, just for the sole reason as that's kind of too many. A lot of people, even myself, were shocked when he announced that Young Sinatra 4 was coming out, so I'm not entirely sure he'll ever do a number 5, but now that I know Logic, he is giving back to his fans what they really want, which is the old style rap of Logic. I do see him making a ton more albums with his old style, so don't get, worried about that. That's not going to go anywhere. Logic's going to be staying with his old flow, on some songs. But don't forget, guys, he will be making some songs with, you know, his new flow, kind of like 1-800 and songs that was in the Everybody album, just because you can't be making music with the same flow each time. You know, as an artist, it probably gets stressful just because you can only rap about so many things. Especially Logic, all the projects that I just told you, he basically raps about his life and things along the lines of that. And I even know Logic said in an interview before that he's starting to run out of things to rap about. You know, he rapped about his life and how his mom was growing up and things along the lines of that. And he talks about it in almost every album, which he's starting to run out of things to run out of. That's why he changed his flow to begin with. But other than that, I know Logic will pull through. I know this album is going to be amazing. If you guys liked the album, make sure you guys leave a like on this video. Anyways, guys, it's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.